one. We have a good one. Howdy neighbor, how is your garden growing? My garden? Well, today is the day we are harvesting the sweet potatoes. They have been in the ground plenty of time. I have seen a few popping up and we must get them harvested. So if you'd like to join me to harvest sweet potatoes or you just want to hang out, let's get started. You guys remember from last time, we are continuing down our handy dandy checklist, which includes harvesting both Puerto Rican black beans and sweet potatoes. Oh, I need to put Seminole pumpkins on this list because I have been seeing a bunch hiding, and as everything gets a little bit cooler out, you know, honestly, some are ready to go. So on to our checklist of getting sweet potatoes done today, because they've been there forever. And if you remember last year, we did not get a good harvest. And I honestly think we didn't get a good harvest because of that Poinciana. This whole area was just not as productive as the year before. And the only thing that makes it, the soil is better, our watering techniques are better, our transplanting techniques are better, our timing was better. And the only thing that would make sense was there was just too much shade. And we know sweet potatoes are tropical. Sweet potatoes come from tropical areas of the Americas, and they like the heat, they like the humidity, and they like our intense sun. So to only be getting maybe an hour, 2 hours of sun a day, no bueno. So I'm hopeful. I've seen a couple popping up, so I'm hoping we're gonna get something today. I know we're gonna get at least something, but is it enough of something? I don't know. But let's go looking. Here is our sweet potato bed. The sweet potato vines actually still looking good. And this may be one of the things that you may be wondering about, if especially you're in South Florida or the zone 10s of Florida, is that how do you know it's time to go ahead and do this? And honestly, I've got a couple videos. I will link them at the end in case I do like not the best job showing you, but I will do my best to show you. But in case I don't, I have a video that answers tons of questions about sweet potatoes from y'all. And then I have like a YouTube short. So one of the challenges we have here in Florida is that, especially zone 10s where sweet potatoes do awesome, is that we don't get the usual signal that it's time to go harvest, which is the vines growing back. Because that's what you'll hear from all the northerners, is the vines die back and then it's time to like basically go and harvest. But here's the thing, what a lot of those northerner gardeners don't get, which you can actually see happening right here, they're closed for the day, they won't get flowers because they are not in subtropical, tropical climates. So they don't have the normal stuff going on. And you can actually see these sweet potatoes are even putting on new leaves in here, like this little purple guy. So how do you know? How do you tell? The biggest thing is this is where the planner helps. You know when you put your starts in the ground and it's 4 to 6 months later. And the difference between 4 months and, bee work. I was gonna catch it. There was a bumblebee. They were trying to get into that sweet potato flower, but it's all closed up. So it has moved onward to other flowers. But that's where having like a planner or something, or wherever you're gonna keep notes, is important, because you have to just kind of know the timing, which is that 4 to 6 months for sweet potatoes. And here in Florida, it depends when you started them to like when you would harvest them. So 4 months is going to be more, we're going through our warm to hot seasons. And then in like, especially South Florida, you can do sweet potatoes, and that's going to be more like 6 months going from your warm into cold back into warm season. I've done it both ways. Basically in my garden, because I'm a zone 10A, even though I'm Central Florida, I'm zone 10A. I have sweet potatoes growing year round, but I can tell you they definitely slow down. So you just gotta kind of know. So I think it was like February I harvested a ton of sweet potatoes. So now it's November. It's way past due, but because of the lack of sunlight, it's just not gonna, they're just gonna take longer, or they didn't do anything. But the vines have been alive. And so even if this year's a bust, the vines, which you'll see me do, I'm gonna flip them from this bed into this bed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some of the soil that we have left from the backyard project into this bed, and then we'll flip some vines on top, and then we'll add soil back on again, and then that will just reroot. So none of this getting sweet potatoes and growing little starts and transplanting the starts and then putting them in water and then no, I don't do any of that. I put the vine in, new sweet potatoes grow. It's really simple, and it's really simple the first time. If you want to see what I did the first time, I also have a video from way back when. It's very goofy, and you can see a duck-shaped sweet potato. So look for that. Maybe say quack quack in the comments on that video. But there is a duck-shaped sweet potato harvested at that time period. So if this isn't that great, I'm okay with it, because I do know, like, we had no sunlight really coming from this direction during the winter, and then even this direction when we went through the summer, you know, was blocked a bit by this, because we hadn't gotten our like groove on with this fire bush. So like it was just every which way. And then this way, now we have this tree. So like just, so I'm moving it over. Long story short, we're moving it over. So let's go diving in, because really the way you can tell is you have to go find some sweet potatoes popping up through the ground. That's how that's kind of the key of like, are we ready? And then you just kind of make the call. So let's go looking. I'll take you to the area that I know there are some, but I don't know how many, and I don't know if it's a full bed. So let's go see. Oh, look, there are flowers. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, and here's another one. Oh, here's a fully open one. So you want to see what they look like. This is our sweet potato flowers. The bees enjoy them, especially my big fat bumblebees and my carpenter bees. They enjoy these ones. And it's still open because they're part of the morning glory family. So yay. So you can hang out down there, but let's go looking for sweet potatoes. We're gonna go in here. So you have to kind of, this is where having them in raised beds can be helpful, because then you don't have to go digging as far down. We're gonna be poking around, just looking for sweet potatoes. Who do we see? Oh, here we go. Here's one, right here. Do you see it? Now, a lot of people freak out about this green that you see. Oh, I'll zoom in a little. There's this green here. So basically, there's just like a chemical reaction that happens. So usually people talk about mounding them up so that these turn. What I have always done is I just harvest them. I put them in a shady spot for curing, and they will change color. So the fact that they didn't turn full, not green, whatever the way you want to say it, in ground is not a big deal. I just put them in covered buckets. I have typically put them in covered buckets in my garage, so that it's warm enough, one, and two, we'll talk about curing in a second. But basically it deals with the green thing, so you don't have to worry about the green thing. So if yours are a little bit green, the tops of them are a little bit green, don't worry about it. Now if the whole sweet potato is green and one after another is green, then they're not ready. Get it? So if it's mostly not, like if that's just that top part, you're like, oh, it's looking a little greenish, don't worry about it. When you go through the curing process, as long as you keep it in a shady area, the green goes away, the chemical reaction continues, you'll be fine, you're not gonna die. So let's go dig in and take this out. So where did I find that one? Right here. Can you guys see that? So that's it. So you can tell from up above, what do I see that's telling me anything's ready? Nothing. So we have to go in the bed to figure it out. So let us pull our first one. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna literally just pull it. And that's it. And there's our first sweet potato. We have clearly had a ton of pest activity on this, which is not honestly surprising with the fact that these have been sitting in the ground way too long, and they have been stressed because of the lack of light. But we can use this to our advantage. It still has roots on it. It is still a living plant. So we can heave it into the bed. That's going to be our future sweet potato bed. So there are no problems, it's just solutions. So let's go, we're gonna go look in here to see what else we can find. Oh, okay, that's not bad. It's not great, it's not bad. It's usable. I have a box. I just have a normal cardboard box for throwing them in right now, because you don't want anything that's going to hold on to moisture too well. So we'll do that. Just going to poke around on the top layer. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Oh, this one probably bad. Well, that's a unique shape. It looks like right at the soil line is where there's some damage. You know, I'm going to put it in the box. We can make some choices. This is compost. So clearly in there too long. Excuse me, bees. See, they're being mean. So that can just straight in there. It won't make anything new, but it'll put nutrition back in. So yeah. So while I'm snooping around in here, Ben's gonna start filling this bed, and hopefully it doesn't collapse. Those beds are so bad. It's they're so bad. I'll do a video so that, you know, people when they search for that product, it's called Best Choice Products. You can get them through Amazon or their website. They're so bad. Maybe they work somewhere in the world. They do not work for Florida. Our corrosive environment, these are just, I don't know. And they're not even 2 years old. Not even two. Not even two. They are just that bad. So hopefully they hold it together enough. These are just so terrible. Okay, another sweet potato I see. Oh, they're all just like so rotting. Yeah, too long in the ground. It looks like this was one of the white sweet potatoes. Too long in the ground. These all just are gonna have to go in there. Oh no. What a bummer. As long as I've got stuff to start the next round of crops, it'll be okay. Some little ones. That'll be some good root. Got a little guy. Let's see if we can get him in. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you guys. Alright, what else next? I'm trying just to get the ones on the top, because there's potentially ones down in there. Until I pull the vines, but I don't want to pull the vines until we got a little bit of a layer of soil in here, because then I can just flip them. Alright. You know, and it might have been I just left these in too long because I thought the soil issue, and maybe I should have harvested these months ago. Because here we go. I mean, we've made stuff like this work, but there's some pretty bad damage on this one too. Well, look, I'll tell you this. It looks like a lot of white ones. Oh, and if you don't know, we've grown two types of sweet potatoes. Classic, like the orange ones, and then a white sweet potato that basically tastes like a potato. It's technically a sweet potato. I'm gonna chuck this in the bin, we'll see. Oh, it missed. Thank you, Ben.
I got it.
Can you move it like just over a little bit so I'm not, right now trying to like arc around the camera stand to get it in the bin.
You can't do a curveball?
No,
curve potato?
I was never in softball. I wasn't in baseball. I did soccer. And I was bad at throw-ins. So that's like a nice little potato. We'll take it. You know what I'm thinking? We probably should have harvested it. Oh, this is like eaten completely out. Nope, that's a no. Can I see another one in here? Okay. Well, every one of these is like not ideal. They might have been a little stressed out just because this was very rich soil too. And sweet potatoes, hey, if you got sandy soil, sweet potatoes enjoy your not good soil. Because the first time I ever did this, I did this in like mess soil right here on the ground, and here we are with rich soil, and they seem to be, but then again, sun and overly rich soil, you know. There you go. Now we got problems with the capital P, which rhymes with T, and that stands for trouble. Oh, we got trouble. Let's see. Anything else in here I can see? Oh, maybe. I see big, thick roots. Oh my gosh. Could we have a good one? Could we have? We have a good one. We have a good one. We have a good one. Ah! Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Let's look at it. Oh my gosh. We have actually one really, really good sweet potato. And honestly, what it was is I saw a huge thick vine like this thick. And I was like, well, there's probably like some tubers on it. Like I didn't know. Because sometimes what you'll find with sweet potatoes is like, it'll just be like this long, like almost like a, I guess they're all roots. But you know, you get what I'm saying? Like it's just like one looks like a thick root instead of like a proper tuber. And okay, look, if it's this plus one sweet one, I'm gonna call it good this year for the complete lack of sun over in rich soil. I'll call it good. But that's a good one. I'm gonna call that 3/4 of a pound. That's a nice size one. Okay, we've done something. Here's the root I saw sticking out of the ground, just to give you guys an idea of what I was looking for. And then I was like, oh, I'll just pull on this. And then you can see, here's the connecting point right here. So we have this really woody root, and then we had a nice sized tuber. So it's possible more stuff underground there, but we'll just need to fill up this bed. Ben's filling up the bed. He's doing a good job filling up the bed. You know, does he not need a montage? Do you think we should do a montage of filling beds? Maybe I'll help him a little. I'll help him. Okay, well let's go over this bed. Let's get this full, because that way I can start flipping stuff into it, because we really do need about a bit more soil, you know. Montage! Oh no.
No bueno.
This is as far as we're gonna fill up before we top off this bed. But for you to know, if you wanna start sweet potatoes. So if you wanna start sweet potatoes, the easiest way for a Floridian, go buy an organic sweet potato. Buy it at Publix, buy it at, I don't know, Trader Joe's, buy it at like whatever. Wherever your store, you just need to make sure it says organic, because it doesn't have the coating on it, so it can sprout. And then you just like literally set it on the ground. Put 6 to 9 inches of mulch. You can do soil. If you're gonna do soil, do less, you know. And then you kind of just wait for vines to pop up and through. I wouldn't do it in the middle of the winter, because that's not their ideal time. But anytime when we're past cold snaps, like for South Florida, late February, March, and all through the summer, feel free. I think doing it in the springtime is a little bit better. Reason, one, you'll have sweet potatoes at Thanksgiving. But two, you're in the drier season, and one of the watch outs for the summer months is that, you know, you've got the sweet potato that hasn't set roots yet, so you could end up like just making a bunch of mush, which wouldn't be great. So we've added a little bit of soil. This back panel is now collapsing off. So my hopes and dreams of this holding it together for just a little bit longer are quickly being dashed. But I'm not buying new beds. I'm not gonna build new beds yet. So we are going to just try to do what we can, but it is bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of the cruddy looking sweet potatoes and I'm going to set them here. And then we will set the vines on top, and then we'll put some soil on top of that. And that's kind of it. It's not a complicated process. It's really easy. But here is our problem now. And the problem is the higher I go with soil, this is just gonna start to collapse out, and then we're just gonna get like a whoosh happening. So we're just gonna leave it right here, and I'm gonna focus my attention more on that side and not adding very much here, so that, I mean, technically nothing's holding it on the bottom. This is just literally gravity has not taken off yet. I mean, do not let the irony be lost on all of us that the name of this brand is Best Choice. It is very clearly not the best choice. Oh my gosh. And when I do the review video of these beds, I will say in there, but I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm 99% sure the brand Savannah is the same manufacturer. It's just a different like brand name. So don't buy Savannah. Don't buy Best Choice products. There's other brands. I'm a fan of VEGEGA. I will put this video at the end since we're experiencing this. So if you've been thinking about it, I can tell you, based on my experience from my factory days and looking at metal and dealing with metal that rusts and all sorts of stuff, and had to do that in a very corrosive environment. That goes beyond just the normal Florida humidity and salt in the air, but like because you're dealing with chemicals in a food factory. I'm just gonna tell you, this from when I unboxed it had signs that I was concerned about. VEGEGA has not. They have all the hallmarks of things that I would look for in a food factory for something that's going to endure. And the first year, everything is looking good. So I'll look back at, you know, I'll continue guys, always keep you guys updated. So if you were thinking about beds, don't buy those. Definitely VEGEGA would be a good investment for money if that's something you want to do at this time. If you don't, it's okay. We're supportive of all different types, but I don't want you to waste your money on this. This is garbage. This is not a complicated process. We're just gonna stick the sweet potatoes that are not good. Just we're spreading them out. That's it. That's all you need to do. Nothing complicated. You don't need to worry about orienting anything. If you bought sweet potatoes, you just chuck them on like that. You can spread them a foot apart. I think one of the challenges is if you watch a lot of Northerners, it can start to feel like this is too easy because it is harder for them. It is harder. Sweet potatoes are harder for northerners because they live in temperate climates. And sweet potatoes naturally occur in tropical climates. So if you keep thinking, it can't be this easy. I watched so-and-so and they struggled. And that, it's because they don't live in Florida. Let me tell you, it's because they don't live in Florida. So don't let a Michigan or a New Jersey or whatever, like somewhere up there, be like the reason why you don't try it here. Here, it's easier. There's stuff that works easier up there. This kind of stuff is what works a lot easier for us. And if you're one of those people who's like, I know some people are really into like the greens and trying lots of exotic greens. You know, sweet potato greens are edible. So we have historically harvested like these young leaves and used them in our smoothies as a spinach substitute. You don't need as many because they're much more fibery, but sweet potato greens, you know, it is a win-win plant. So even if you don't have a great harvest the first time, you're going to end up with flowers. This is a bud flower, but you'll end up with flowers. You're going to end up with all sorts of stuff that your northern counterparts just they don't get. So my South Floridians, my Central Floridians, my North Floridians, like definitely try it. And then, you know, if you want potatoes, you can get the type that are the white ones so that you know, we haven't generally done potatoes because I have the white sweet potatoes and they taste like potatoes. So I don't really, to me, they taste like a very nice and rich sweet potato. Or not sweet potato, potato. So I have never felt the need for really going after figuring out potatoes because potatoes are more of a temperate climate. See, look, this is how it works. They like a little bit more of that. Though I did have my potatoes, the ones that Freda gave me, they flowered. So, you know, whatever. So that's my thoughts. But if you want to do potatoes, we are at the time of harvesting sweet potatoes, but you can flip to potatoes. Might not want to do it just because certain things might want to go for one or the other, but they're not technically even in the same family. This is part of the morning glory family, Ipomea, versus potatoes are in, I don't remember what. Right now Ben's filling the other bed. Go Ben! Yay! Hopefully that one holds all the soil too. This is his workout for the day. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start yanking vines and I'm just gonna toss them on top. And that's fine. We're just gonna toss them on top. Because what we'll find is what's great about sweet potatoes, especially here in Florida. Let me take a vine off right here. Oh no, I cut off the part I wanted to show you. Let's see if I can find a spot that shows this well. Okay. Right. Come here. No, don't lean on this. This is gonna break. Can you see the nodes on the plant? I don't know if you can see this, but they will reroot sweet potatoes anywhere these little nodes touch. There's nodes here. They're so small. Can you see this? If you can, type in the chat. Yes, ma'am, I saw them. But that becomes a challenge with sweet potatoes in Florida. They can take off like crazy here. They will root. If I don't pull them up off the ground regularly enough, they will root. They can become like a weed in your garden if you don't keep them kind of contained. So which is why I like doing them in the beds now, in these style beds, but not this brand. But I like doing them in beds because they go nuts. They're gonna take over whole space. They climb everything. This is not. I watched Acre Homestead, her harvest a couple years ago, and I was like, yeah, that ain't gonna work as well as it does here. So just know, it's good. So let's grab these vines off the top. We're just gonna lay them right on top, and then we'll go through and dig and see if we find any more sweet potatoes, and then we're just gonna top, I'm not gonna top off this bed. We're gonna cover it with some soil. And then we're gonna just pray for some amount of structural integrity, even though contrary to all the evidence we're being given. So let's take these off, flip them over here. Ooh, I can see more. So I'm pulling. Come on, guys. Come with me. We're going over here. Oh, more. Now you guys can leave some of that in the ground. Now some people cut off all the leaves ahead of time. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. I tend to roll them up like carpet. Neither is wrong. Both can be right. Look at that. Look at that guy. That's so cute. We're going to let that one grow. Look at him. Come on. Come on, guys. Come and see her. I am trying to put you in your new home. Come. Oh. This is the bad part. They've been climbing in my desert rose. But you know what? This is why I wanted to move them in the middle bed. Be easier so they can't run in the fire bush, run in the desert rose. They're always trying to escape. All year I've been trying to make sure they don't re-root because they were like a weed in this wildflower bed for a little bit. Oh, I'm so sorry, bees. Get in there. Hold them on. Oh no. Watch out. I'm all tangled. Ugh. Like Rapunzel. I'm just gonna set this right here. Oh my god. I'm like all tangled up in this nonsense. Get in here. And we got nice big roots like this that can go and re-root, make some tubers. See this? This is great. We'll just stick them all on the ground. Get everybody inside. And one of the first things we'll focus on doing is, I think I started to mention in the last week's video or the week before's video, one of my new YouTuber friends that I'm in a group with, Amy Cross, with really good preserving techniques. Oh, this is a good one. Really good preserving techniques. But when it comes to preserving sweet potatoes in Florida, a lot of people are always like, how do I cure it? How to cure it? We have historically just put them in plastic bins. We're gonna do a box in the garage. You just leave them in the garage for 2 weeks. Typically in Florida, for the majority of the year, you will hit the temperatures needed to cure this. Which all that means is it just consolidates sugar so it gets sweeter, and then it can last a year or two. So Florida naturally hits, like I think it's like in the 70s. I say in one of the videos I'm gonna link at the end, I give you the exact temperatures. But for us, our garage hits those temperatures. I don't have to do anything special to like make, and neither do you. So there's not a complicated process. Again, remember, because we are a subtropical, tropical climate, stuff isn't the same as it would be for those ones who live in Michigan and they have a cellar and it gets cold and blah, blah, blah. Your garage, most of the year, has the right temperature just to hit to cure these things. You leave them there for a couple weeks. That's why if you get these in the ground in March, 4 or 5 months later, we're in like July, August, cure them, they're ready for Thanksgiving. Or Halloween, whatever, you know. But one of the things I want to look at her stuff, because she does a lot of stuff like how to extend your groceries or your harvest in the refrigerator. So what I wanted to do is see if I could take any of the techniques that she talks about. And really the techniques are all about like just getting like molds and funguses off the plants so that they don't rot at an accelerated rate. So I wanted to look at like, especially stuff like our sweet potato greens, you know, because we can use them as a spinach substitute. Mix that in with some of the dino kale that we're going to be having and radish greens. You know, if I can get a good process that I can harvest a little bit from all of these throughout the year, but extend them so we're not have to be like, oh, we got to harvest every day, or every few days, you know, that's kind of where we want to get to. So this guy is a nice one. A quick weeding interlude, because now that I got the vine off of the desert rose, I can now see how much grass is here. And oaks. Oh my gosh. My poor desert rose. Poor thing. Let's just get all this out. So bad. And then apparently another Everglades tomato hanging out. Bit by bit, we're getting this yard back. Getting it back, man. All right, let's see what else we can find in here. I can see more popping up. Can you guys see them? Let's see. Oh, this one looks okay. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad. That's bad. We'll just shove it in there. Now we can see like big root systems like this. If you ever have a bed you're flipping, you need to like pull all this nonsense up. Otherwise, sweet potatoes will come back. Let's shove that in there. See if there's anything in here. What in the, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I mean, it definitely has some damage, but it's worth trying to see if we can make something of that. That's much.
Shit.
That can go in there.
See one here too.
Yes, I know.
Say hello.
Hello. Ooh, this is mush. I can feel some that are total mush. These are ones that probably, they went way too long. So it looks like not too much in here. You know what? I said if I could just get a couple, we would be okay. Soil, so good. Our soil. Here's some more long roots. Nothing. Oh, another little one. Okay. You know, it looks like the white ones have done decent. Looks like we might need to buy some new orange ones, which is okay. Oh, do not throw them in this bed. That bed. Yes, one right here at the edge. Oh, totally destroyed. You know what? In that bed, more roots. Oh, this looks like orange. Hold on. We might need to get some new orange sweet potatoes for this year, and that's okay. I think that's kind of all she wrote in this bed. Yeah. So overall, not a great success, but we got something, and that's really exciting. Something is better than nothing. Honestly, it's just a handful of good sweet potatoes. I've been shoving all the less than ideal ones in here. Better they just go back into the ground, like that giant one, and help make next year's crop rather than trying to fight through a pest issue spreading. Cover all this back up. Best they can. Trying to keep away from that side. And hopefully this looks a little cute for right now. Just oh. Yeah, we're just doing the best we can with what we got, you know? But hopefully a little bit better crop for the fall into spring, and then we can make some better choices about what beds, and we can get some different varieties to put in our future beds for the following. Sweet potato harvest complete. Now I just need to weigh it, put it in my tracker. Well, we got our sweet potato harvest done. Ben has mostly gotten these filled, and we're just about to wrap it up. So hopefully you learned a little bit about harvesting and growing sweet potatoes here in Florida. If you want to learn a lot more, check out this video and this video right here. And of course, if you enjoyed hanging out, go ahead and throw a like, a subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. New videos each week. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.